Hey there, everybody. Back in December 2022, I filmed a series for physical therapy, Google Ads Marketing for Physical Therapy, and we built out a campaign structure the right way. So we took an existing account, a real actual physical therapy practice in New Jersey, and rebuilt all of his campaigns. This practice is well branded on their own. They do a lot of great stuff internally. They have a very strong, like I said, strong brand, strong logo. They got their brand colors. Everything was clicking, but their digital advertising was just sputtering, and it was wasting a lot of money. So we went in there and we completely revamped the campaigns from the ground up. And in this training, so I use that as an opportunity to provide this training course for you for free here on YouTube. And during that training course, I mentioned that we would come back and share the results. Okay, so here we are 10 months later, and we're going to go through that right now. Okay, so let's pop over into the ad account. I'm going to show you over time what has actually happened. So what we're looking at here is a date range of January 1st through of last year, so 2022, all the way through October 25th, which is yesterday of 2023. Okay, so you can see here we are looking at conversions and phone calls. I've got campaign status to all, so it scoops up everything that was running, including the old campaigns. And you can see right here, this little point here is when we turned on the brand new campaigns. Here are the old campaigns, and this is a little deceptive. I mean, you can see it's like all over the place, down, down and a little up, and then up, and then up, and then down, and then they shut it completely off because it was super wasteful. So when you look at these numbers, like August of 2022, it says 53 conversions, 182 phone calls. Those are pretty much mostly garbage phone calls and garbage conversions because they were just coming in off of the wrong types of searches. And I'll share that information with you as well. But you can see here was November, still off, right? So December is when we turn these on. So this is, again, that the same time that I was doing the whole training course here on YouTube. And we started off, with it was a fair budget, but we slowly started to ramp it up. So 17 conversions, 26 phone calls in December. January, 19 conversions, 26 phone calls. February, 28 conversions, 41 phone calls. March, 30 conversions, 46 phone calls. And you can see it was going up gradually. We did have a slight dip in June, and then we regained our ascent in the right direction. So July, 33 conversions, 50 phone calls. August was phenomenal with 42 conversions and 80 phone calls. September, a slight dip, but still very strong, 41 conversions and 67 phone calls. And then October, it takes a while to get the current month in. But so that was the result of the build that I detailed right here in YouTube, right? And let's just look at this period back here because it's really interesting to contrast a campaign that has been set up correctly versus one that is not. And we see this all the time, unfortunately, where campaigns are just not set up the proper way. Okay, so here, what we're looking at here are search terms, okay? And from a terminology perspective, search terms are what people are actually entering into Google to trigger your ads. So keywords are what you bid on. Search terms are the queries that somebody enters into Google. So you can see here, and I'm doing a sort by clicks. And when an account is not configured the proper way, it is literally a lot of times death by 1,000 cuts because you get a lot of searches that collectively just become very wasteful. And you can see these average CPCs over here, the cost per click. These are not cheap. Some of them are pretty expensive. And when you scroll through and you can see, like, just during July of last year, which was really the last month that they ran before they hired us to reconstruct everything, there were so many queries that just went on and on and on. And you can see here, that some of them were on point that were brand queries, like here's the brand name, right? But those should have lived in their own campaign because brand should be isolated from everything else. And then it was bringing a lot of, competitive searches. Now, competitive searching is also fair game, but you also isolate that in its own campaign because it's very different. but a lot of competitors. This one is on point because it's brand. This one might have been good. Who knows what somebody's looking for if they're looking for physical therapy? It could just be informational, right? But as I scroll through, you could see there was just a tremendous amount of waste. And this is what happens. This is very common in an account, especially, unfortunately, it's sad to say, an account that Google wants you to set up because they default everything to broad match. And if you get a call from one of their reps, a lot of times they will almost force your hand into doing something that's not in your best interest, unfortunately, but more in the best interest of the corporation that needs to show profits quarter after quarter. Okay, so be careful if you're doing your own campaigns, for sure. Make sure you watch the entire series that I did here for physical therapy, because it's really, really important to implement this the right way, and you can see results, like we see here. And we could have actually scaled this even further. We were held back by internal resource restrictions, so they just couldn't handle additional leads and phone calls with, so we had to keep the budget pretty much the same, although we were able to increase it slightly in certain months. But if you've got the budget and your cost per acquisition is within the range of where it should be. In fact, let me just bring that up. So let's look at cost per conversion here. So now the blue line is cost per conversion. So you can see the cost per conversion just hovers right around $100, right? So when patients have a lifetime patient value that can often be thousands and thousands of dollars, then this makes really good sense from an investment perspective. And that's exactly what Google Ads should be. It should always be an investment in your business, right? You don't want to be just squandering money and throwing precious funds into a marketing budget that does not have an ROI. So if you're going to build this out, take your time, go through the videos, watch them carefully. And again, like I've said before, we do this all day long. So if you need help in any way, just give us a call, brandrocket.net, send us a message, and we'd be glad to help you out, okay? All right. Hopefully you found value in this. If you did, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.